folks, welcome back. Today I was out there painting, as you can tell, but I took a break because I wanted to show you a project that I've been working on. I haven't showed you this project before, but it's something that all of you could take part in, especially those of you who've got a sawmill. Now, right here behind me is the project. What this is a piece of white pine, and I cut it on my mill. I think it's about 20 or 22 inches wide, and it's something easy. Reason being is all I did was run it through the sawmill once. I think that's 1.5 inches, and I didn't actually sand it down very smooth. I wanted it kind of rough. So what I did was I used one of my blades that was getting near the end of life because I knew it was creating some blade chatter. If you guys have a look here, you'll see these lines that are parallel to one another. Those are the result of a blade that's not exactly sharp and really nearing the end of its life. Why did I make this? Well, I needed a computer desk. And in order to make a computer desk, you need a piece of wood. So I had a piece of wood stacked up, drying for quite a while, and I figured, well, when I find a time to use it, I'm gonna. And now's the time. So this here is missing some legs. Underneath, as you can see, is a sawhorse. That's not gonna be the computer desk legs. So what I did was I went to old trusty Amazon and I looked up some legs. I was gonna make them, but then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna maybe do something a little bit different. And I'm gonna use similar legs that I used on this project. So if we have a stroll over here, this project, still in the works, has some legs on it, and all these are a single hoop piece of metal. Now, on Amazon, you have a plethora, nice word, eh? You have a lot of options. The option that I chose was sort of a 3-hoop design, and we'll pull this over here and you guys can have a look. Okay, so they call this the 28-inch 3-rod hairpin tans, whatever that means. Anyways, I'll put the link down below so you guys can check it out. But these were, I think they're about $85 Canadian, so they're not overly cheap, but they're cheap enough. Okay, I wanted a minimalistic look to this. If I were to tack on some real big, thick wood legs, it would take that away. So I went this route. So pulling the plastic off, this is exactly what you would see if you purchased these. I literally got this in the mail today. So as you can see, a nice powder coat finish on there. Seems pretty strong. And overall, it's nice and smooth. So I think it'll be good. So we got 3 of those in there. 3 more of those in there. There should be 4, obviously. And you've also got some hardware, which is perfect. I hate when you order stuff from Amazon and it doesn't send hardware. It's not like I don't have, gobs of hardware, but it's kind of frustrating when you spend 80 bucks or whatever it costs on some parts or some legs, and it doesn't give you anything to attach it with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the hardware that it came with, and I'm going to flip the table over because this is the top, and I'm going to lay out the location for the legs, attach it, and show you what it looks like. Okay, hope no creepy crawlies are under here. Whoa, there's something. What the heck? Whoa! Jeez, that moth landed right on my face. Okay, as you can see, the bottom is unfinished. Why? Well, I'm never going to look at it, so I didn't really care too much. It's still got some of the dust from when I milled it. So, yeah, maybe we'll put the legs on there, and I'll talk about the finish that's on this table after. But when you're putting the legs, keep in mind they sort of angle outwards a bit, and that gives it some stability, or rigidity, I guess stability. Okay, so the only thing I like is I like to make sure that when I'm putting legs on things, I like them to sort of face each other. So see the bottom of the bracket here? What I'm going to do is draw a straight line and make sure that this bracket butts up against that straight line. So one leg's not like this and one's like this or like this, that's not my style. Okay. Let's just put a line on. I'm just going to go parallel to the outside here. Now I want the legs fairly close to the outside as well. I'm not measuring this. I'm just measuring with my eyes here. It's not overly important. That is one haggard looking line. Anyways, good enough for now. The other thing I'm going to do is get a marker. And the reason being is I'm going to pre-drill the screws. And the reason I use a marker is I can see it a bit better. That's why. Okay, good enough. Now, here's what's important here. I've done this before, and that's why I'm telling you, so you don't do the same thing. I've gotten out the old drill, and I've gone to town and put the drill right through the table, and then I've regret it for the life of the table. I'm going to mark it with some tape this time. I don't want it to go all that deep. Keep in mind, here's the hardware. So I really don't even have to go the full length of the hardware. Heck, you don't even need to use a drill if you don't want. But for me, it's going to make it easier for me when it comes time to putting in the screws. So I'm going to do that. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to see how long it is. It's going to put a little piece of tape around it. And if you get it started, put it into reverse. You can wind that sucker up so tight it's never coming off. Good for drilling, not so much for when it's time to remove it. Okay, good enough for me. Don't forget to put in forward. What the heck? What the heck's going on here? This thing's supposed to spark and smoke. Well, hasn't broke yet. Sparking good. Too many coffees today. I got the shakes. Okay. And that'll be that. I'm just going to screw this into place. And I'd normally use my impact driver, but I think I left it out in the bush somewhere. I don't know what I was working on, but inevitably it's not here. And I got the shakes. What a good combination, eh? Anyways, what I found with this hardware, and the reason I've used the hardware, as I mentioned, you see that project over there with the similar legs? This hardware is some of the cheapest hardware I've ever seen. And what that means is when you're trying to get this snug down, you overdo it by one little bit, and these things strip out to the point where you'll start hating life. So, yeah, just take it easy. All right, let's get this table flipped over and we'll have a look at how we did. Little moth still hanging around. Okay, well, there it is. Let's get a good look there. As you can see, I think it looks pretty good. So it's supposed to be a minimalistic look. That's what I'm going for. Keep in mind, I gotta have my work desk here, so I gotta have a computer on here. I'm gonna have a little notepad and all kinds of stuff that way. So needs to be minimalistic, but it needs to have some features so that I have a bit of space to work. Reason I chose this piece of wood, it has a relatively straight line here, and it's sort of conducive to working, and it's not too big. I had one of those huge oak desks at one point, those old mission desks, I think they call it, or banker's desks, and it was just way too bulky and really hard to get to fit into the decor in the house, so this is the new one. Anyways, let's have a look at the material I used in order to get it to where you're at. As I said, it's a piece of white pine. So not the biggest piece in the world, but a decent piece. A piece had to come down anyways. The tree had to come down, so that's why I was left with this. I milled it on my Woodland Mills HM130 and some of the products I used. So I started with 2 coats of wood stain. And what this is, made by Minwax, it's called Early American. Now, this is a really good product that I've used in the past. I have no affiliation with these guys or Varathane company, but I really like their product, and so I used it. So that penetrated deep into the wood, let that dry. Once I got the color I wanted with 2 coats, then what I did was I took Varathane, which I've been using for decades, it seems. Not that long, but I've probably been using for 20 years. Anyways, what I did was I put 5 coats of this stuff on here. So after I put the stain on, which is that, to give it color, I took the Varathane, and this is water-based, semi-glossed, used for interior. I put 5 full coats on, and I put it on using a little roller. I didn't do anything in between coats. Now, if you leave it for more than 24 hours, according to the label, you're supposed to scuff up the coat you just put on so the next coat will adhere to it. I didn't leave it 24 hours. I left it probably about 12 hours between coats and did 5 consecutive coats. And so 5 of these, 2 of these, you're left with the product you see here. So ultimately, I think the project turned out pretty well. I'm quite happy with it. It's going right into the house as I speak. And in the future, I think I'll probably be making a few more of these because I've had some people ask me about them. So overall, great project. And hey, if you're looking to make a few bucks with your sawmill, I know around these parts, these go for a few $100. So there's nothing really here for expenses if you got the wood, other than, you know, maybe you got some coats of this and some legs on here for under $100, maybe 110 bucks Canadian. You've got yourself a pretty solid profit. I'm no businessman, so I'm going to leave it to you guys to do that if you're into it. In the meantime, I appreciate all you guys watching out there, and if you could do me that one big favor, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. That'll also get my content out there. Until next time, you guys all take care, and we'll see you next time.